We are knitting a wedding bridal shawl bolero for my little sister's wedding. It is in 2 weeks. I was like pretty far into it 4-ish days ago. It's Sunday, so on Wednesday I got really far into it. I knit up a whole sleeve, finished it, knit the cuff, and then I blocked it and realized this is not it because I'm going for a like puff sleeve, balloon sleeve type of moment for the bolero, and it just was not large enough. And I am self-drafting it, so if you're curious, I'm just knitting it flat across the back. I knit 16 inches flat across the back, and then I'm going to knit down to, I think, like this far down, because I know it's probably going to stretch at least a little bit once being blocked, and then I'll knit about 1.5 to 2 inches of a cuff on, I want to say US 2s, and I'm using US 4s. I was using US 3 the first go around, so I sized up one needle size, and I'm really hoping that this works out, and we really need it to work out. Also, hi, hello, привет, Barev. My name is Irma. This is Tootsie. It is, I know. And let's knit a wedding bolero. Woo. It is Monday. I finished a sleeve. I got chocolate on it, but it's fine because I still need to block it. I feel like that's perfect. I'm excited to block it because then it'll just be perfect. It's like exactly what I envisioned, and I just picked up the stitches for the second sleeve. It's my first time picking up stitches from, maybe, I don't know, I can't tell if this is true, but I think it's the first time picking up stitches from a provisional cast on, and I messed up, but it just took a little bit longer than anticipated because I had to I had to untwist some stitches, which is fine, but I also had to pick up like quite a few stitches because I just didn't really understand what I was doing. But yeah, I'm so excited. I am so I'm gonna work on this second sleeve like as much as I can today. I'm using a US 4 for the body, and like all of it, the sleeves, the body. And then for the cuff, I pivoted to 2 sizes down. So I'm obsessed. I think it's so freaking cute. And like, I don't know, I'm trying to like not toot my own horn a lot, but it is my first, like, I don't know, it's crazy to me that like I'm not following a pattern because I've never done that before. So am I an absolute genius? Yeah. So I know that this bolero requires like no shaping, and it's just kind of there, and it's like super easy to make, but I'm just like genuinely shocked that I know how to knit something like straight out of my head. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed. I am so excited to block it and have it just like fully relax and get into it, like the groove of what the fabric is actually going to look like on my sister's wedding day. I think that if I'm not mistaken, I think her last dress fitting is on Wednesday, so 2 days from now. I kid you not, I feel like we could get this done. I feel like we can do it before Wednesday. I don't know, I think I can. If I keep working on the sleeve and just like, keep it going, I don't see why not. So my plan is to just keep working on this last sleeve, and that's it. I don't think I talked about the yarn that I'm using. I'm obsessed. So one thing that my sister really didn't want was mohair for this, not because of the halo, but I think mostly just like it's really humid here, and so she's just not a big fan of mohair. So I'm using WYS Exquisite Lace, and it is exquisite. It's such a joy to work with. It's got, I'm pretty sure it's just wool and lace, and it just feels so luxe. Now, is it expensive as all heck? Yeah, it's $40 for a skein. But I do think that if you're making, like, for something like this, like, that makes sense to me. I feel like that's doable. It's a single skein project because there's quite a bit in one skein, so love that. And yeah, I went to her local yarn store today because I left my shorties and all of my like smaller needles at home, so I needed to get the smaller, I just got small shorties for the cuffs, but we're just gonna keep working and bring you guys along. Hello. I am still working on the second sleeve, but I was just thinking, like, if you have an event that you're going to, this is so easy to make. I mean, it's all stockinette, and I'm actually really excited. I want to make myself one, and I think it would be really fun to try it out in like different laces. Like if I find a lace pattern that I really like, I could just adapt it to be a cute little bolero. I think that would be really nice. I was not sure if I would wear it myself, like outside of a like wedding event, but I think I would. It would be a really cute thing to just add on top of like any dress. So I might make myself one. I think that would be cute. I'm glad that I wrote down not like the whole pattern, but I wrote it out enough for like me to understand it, so I can definitely recreate this. And yeah, this is like a really nice mindless project to kind of start with. I feel like this is such a beginner friendly project. Like if you don't want to make a scarf but don't want to make a sweater, I think this is a great garment that you could have as your first garment. The other thing I was thinking was, if you are a bride yourself, I would not wait 2 weeks before your wedding, only because that seems so stressful. But if you're looking for a quick and easy knit, something like this would be so simple. I mean, you're knitting flat and then you're knitting in the round, and it's really easy. I want to play around with the amount of stitches that I cast on if I make this again, because I think it might be fun to have more of a billowy sleeve, so we'll see. I'm not like in a super rush to make another one of these just because I've like there's just so much that I want to make. But yeah, I think it would be really nice. I'm not sure what the patterns out there are like for similar garments, but you literally knit the back flat and then knit in the round. And that's it. And then you decrease for the cuff at the end, and then you have yourself a shrug. It's so simple. I love it. The only thing where I think that I messed up so far is, I'm not sure if you can see this line. I'm hoping it's not super noticeable. I'm noticing it, and I'm also seeing the pink fibers from the yarn that I used. That I'm not worried about. That will definitely come out in washing and blocking. But I don't know if for provisional cast-ons you're supposed to use a yarn weight that is similar to what you're knitting. Because if that's the case, I did not do that. I used a worsted weight bright pink yarn for the cast on because it's easier to pick up stitches when the yarn is bigger, but now I have a slight gap there. I think that it'll come out during blocking, especially because we're wanting to stretch the sleeves a bit. So we'll see. I'm pleased with how much I've gotten done. It's currently Tuesday. Yesterday was a bit rough. Since I got here, it's just been a little rough, just in the sense that I've been having some migraines and it's not lovely. But I'm feeling well enough to do this today, so yay to that. And hopefully I just kind of keep feeling better. The dress fitting is tomorrow morning. I don't think that I'll finish this tonight. Certainly not enough to block it, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow's the last dress fitting, so she should be bringing the dress home. So we'll see how it looks. I'm really hoping that the color match is similar and super close. That's kind of the goal. But yeah, I will catch up with you guys a little bit later. But yay to this project going well. Made a mistake. I am in the process of blocking, but I don't have my blocking mats, so I'm using some towels and books to weigh it down. And I had my sister try it on while it was wet, and I accidentally sewed the bind off way too tight, so I'm having to unravel this last row, and then I'm going to connect yarn by sewing one more row, and then
and then do a tubular bind off, but like loose, because holy, that was not fun. So yeah, it's like properly past midnight, and I am tired, but tomorrow is the dress fitting, and like I am so wanting to have this available for trying on tomorrow. I will say, like, having such a strict deadline is stressing me out like a lot, and it's kind of taking the fun out of it. I'm also realizing that I don't think I cast on enough stitches, but I think that just comes with it being like self-drafted, and I've done no prototypes whatsoever, so like I'm trying not to be too hard on myself because I don't really know what I'm doing, if I'm being honest. And I think it'll still look nice at the end of the day, but it's very stressful. So that's my little update. It is still, well, now it's technically Wednesday because it's 12:30, but it's Tuesday. So same day as I think the last check-in. I finished the sleeve. I finished the cuff. I think that maybe I should have made this sleeve a little bit longer. I don't know. Honestly, it's one of those things where like I'm not gonna know until she tries it on in the morning once it's dry, so we'll see. I'm pretty hopeful that it'll be dry by then, but I don't know. I think it will be because like it's already pretty dry, and like it's only been out for like an hour, so we'll see. I also hope that you can hear me because everyone's sleeping, so I don't want to be too loud, but that's my night. I am excited to be done with this. I'm not sure if I can, I don't know, genuinely a part of me just wants to, you know what, I think what I'll do is once I'm done removing the bind off, I'm just gonna leave it to dry because I don't want it to be wet at all, because I know that yarn is more brittle when it's wet, as like most things are. And so I think I'll put all the stitches on the needle, pick up stitches that were dropped, and then leave it to dry that way. It's not ideal, but I think I'd rather do that and do a tubular bind off in the morning when I'm less exhausted. I am so tired. So, okay, good plan. And I'm nearly done removing the bind off, so let's do that, and then I will check in afterwards. Yeah, I really wish that I had knit a prototype, or rather like had the time to knit a prototype, honestly, because knitting something 2 weeks before the wedding is just very high stress, especially because like we knew that I was going to be done on time, and so there's no backup. So like, you know, that's a lot of pressure. But I don't know, hopefully the next time you see me, she's trying it on with her wedding dress and it's perfect. but there's already like in my head so much that I change about it that like I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully it's good enough. Hello, it is Wednesday. I blocked the shawl yesterday and my sister had her dress fitting today, so a couple of updates. The shawl shawl, bolero, whatever, you know what I'm talking about at this point. It blocked pretty well, but a couple changes need to be made. So she is going to be wearing it with a bit of like a 3/4 sleeve. This is the one that I needed to undo last night, the binding and redo. This one, it needs to be redone. It's just, I'm not sure if you can tell. I can. It's too tight. So I'm going to redo it. I love how I did this one. It's so comfortable and nice. So we're gonna redo it so she can, you know, raise it comfortably. And then I like the airiness of it, but we want it to be just a little more like flowy. Kind of want it to be like as flowy as possible. I did a wet block yesterday and it is fine. It's my first time blocking lace though, and like this line, I have no idea how to avoid that line. So I'm gonna try steaming it while holding it. And instead of blocking it with pins, I'm gonna lay it out on a towel, put a towel on top while holding it taut, and then stack some books on it and just like let it dry overnight. So I think I'm gonna do sleeves first because there's so much like potential here. It's wool, like we can stretch that out a little more. I don't think it's bad as is, but I do think that the cuff on this one is like significantly, like it's way more comfortable than this one. So going to fix that. It's very comfy otherwise, and she thinks so as well. The back needs to be a little longer. So my plan is to also, that does need to be woven in. I'm not worried about it. The back currently lays like this one more, and there's plenty of room to stretch here. So I'm going to try and stretch it as much as possible. We're trying to make sure that her back is covered while she's wearing her strapless dress. So I'm gonna try and steam it, and then I might add like a little crocheted loop at the center back so that I can pin it to the button of her dress. Now I say that as a question because I'm not sure if that's exactly how we'll do it. If I can steam it to the point where it is long enough and she doesn't feel the need for any type of extra reinforcement, then I'll just leave it as is. Honestly, I'm currently just like happy that it's done. It's Wednesday and I started this like last Thursday. So like I think absolute insanity. No wonder I am like getting over a migraine today and my hands are sore. Like I'm tired. So we're putting this aside. I've got about a week, more than a week. I've got 10 days until 11 days till the wedding. Obviously I don't want to like wait until last minute, but I'm certainly way less stressed. So the first thing that I'm going to do is going to undo the correct cuff and maybe knit one extra row, because I believe that's what I did with this one. Yeah, knit an extra row, make sure that it's blocked so that the cuffs are the same, and bind off in a much looser bind off, because if I'm doing a tubular bind off, it doesn't need to be tight, especially because it's cinched enough. It doesn't need to be any tighter on the body. We are in the home stretch. It's Friday. Rehearsal dinner tonight. Wedding Sunday. Update on the Bolero. It very much to me is looking like a first draft. Like I envision something way more flowy. Let's start with positives. I love this little coffee cup. It was a bachelorette gift, and so was this cute shirt. This one is throwing me for a loop. So it says Caucus Cowgirls because we all, the girls, are all from the Caucasus region. Now, or as I like to say, Kafkaski, because I just don't like the way that Caucasus region sounds. Y'all, Caucasus is misspelled. I only noticed, like, on the drive back from the little bachelorette weekend that we threw for my sister, and nobody else seems to care, but I mean, it's a shirt I'm gonna wear indoors, so it doesn't matter. No, it is kind of funny in hindsight, so that's cool. And it's also just a free shirt that I got, so I'm not complaining. I am okay with how the Bolero is turning out. I'm not like on top of the world, really, and I really wish that I had been. I envisioned something completely different, but honestly, like, I had like no time. So I'm trying to be like kind to myself and not too hard, because it genuinely, like, first self-drafted pattern, and it was for a wedding. Like, that's already pretty psychotic in and of itself. So yeah, I did the best with what I could. I fixed up the cuff, and the sleeves I think look fine, especially because she's going to be wearing them as 3/4 sleeves. That's perfect. They're not long enough to be full sleeves, but also when she tried it on with the dress, it didn't work. Now the back was like the problem because, and I'll see if I can get like some video footage or photos of the back once she's wearing it. I stretched the shit out of that piece of fabric. I've never blocked something so many times. I blocked the sleeves separately. They worked out. Last night or the night before, I blocked the back, and I was honestly too paranoid to use my blocking pins. So I took like everything out of her pantry and just like laid it out. And then in the morning I had like, not a freak out moment, but like a minor, like, please don't stay looking like this, where when I removed all of the cans, it like left a circle, and there were like 10 circles on the back. So thankfully it was okay. But then she tried it on, and then we had another panic moment because when she was standing straight, the back was ruffling. So that was not okay. I hung it up because I genuinely didn't really know what to do with it. At that point, I don't really have enough yarn to make a border. I feel like I could, but I don't know. I don't think I have enough yarn. So no, I definitely don't have enough yarn. I have like a whole string of yarn left. So I just hung it up, and then when she tried it on, like a couple hours after, it seemed fine. I forgot that I had hung it up. She was like, hey, why is it hanging? It looks really weird. And I was like, oh yeah, you want to try it on again? And so she did, and it was fine. So fine is kind of what we're going with. She wasn't too concerned because the back is the only part that isn't like perfect. Now, and she is just wearing it for the ceremony. She keeps telling me that she likes it. I don't know if I believe her. I think that she's okay with it and that it'll have to do. I know for sure that it's not what either of us envisioned because it wasn't. But it'll work. It's good enough for the church ceremony. I feel like good enough isn't really what you want for your wedding, but she is just wearing it for the ceremony. The one part that I really truly messed up is while blocking the back the most recent time, somehow I stretched out the very top part. So the top part was laying fine and now it's kind of folded. I would bring it, but I'm worried that if I get up, the dogs will get up and follow me, and I don't really want the dogs all over the bolero for the wedding because it is white and it needs to stay white. So yeah, it's just got a bit of a weird fold. That part did not bother her at all, mostly because her hair is going to be half up, half down, and it's long enough to cover the back. So that's cool. It is like kind of bumming me out because obviously I wanted this to be perfect. I went into it really excited. I think that I should have, I mean, now in hindsight, I'm not really sure. Maybe cast on 20 more stitches. I cast on 90. I feel like if it was going to be long sleeve, I could have even cast on like 30 to 40 more stitches. I don't know. It's one of those things where I would have preferred to have more time so that I could have like trial and error moments. I think at the end of the day, it's fine. It's not perfect. And I know I'm my harshest critic. It's slightly like, everyone knows that I made it. So I know people are going to be commenting about it. And I know that everyone's going to be really nice about it. But it's one of those things where like, I know it's not perfect and it's like far from perfect, but I can't be like, no, it's not cute because it's my sister's freaking wedding. So like it has to be cute. And I'm hoping that it'll all come together. Steam blocking update. It's going to be a no for me, babes, at all. I don't like it. I steam blocked the back, right? I thought it was a good idea. I only need to block a section of this, right? Wrong. It was like not malleable enough, and because it was something that I needed to have hanging, but it wasn't like a complete cardigan, I couldn't, there was just no way for me to have it hanging where the sleeves were not also like kind of pushed forward. Because when you hang a bolero, like, I don't know how to explain it, the sleeves come forward. So it just wasn't my cup of tea. We steam blocked it. I was getting like, I was really looking forward to it. And then I genuinely just took her like plant mister and just misted over the entire thing. So I essentially just wet blocked it anyway, because it was just not it. I don't like it. I feel like, I don't really know. And like, have you steam blocked before? Would you recommend it? In what cases would you recommend it? Because anytime I think about it and like, oh, I don't want to make too many changes, I'm going to be washing the garment eventually anyway, and I'm not steam washing it. So in what cases is steam blocking preferred? Next footage is gonna be day of the wedding, and like fingers super, super crossed that it's fine and it doesn't do any weird bunching in the back, because my girl is walking down the aisle in this bolero, so shit. All right, well, wish me luck. I will catch up with you guys in 2 days when my little sister's getting married. All right, bye. I'm back home. Notice that we're not at the wedding. I honestly don't remember what the last thing I told you guys was. because it's November 3rd and the wedding was like 2.5 weeks ago. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking when I said that I was going to like take footage during the wedding. I was sobbing. Like, I was genuinely, my sister walking down the aisle, nothing but tears. I kind of just like blacked out. I remember it, but I don't. It was so beautiful. It was a wonderful time. And at first I was like, oh damn, I didn't get any like footage. But now I'm like, she had a very traditional wedding, like in an Orthodox church. It was beautiful. Like, at what point it would never have been appropriate to like whip out my phone and be like, ooh, look at that shawl bolero thingy. So yay to photos, because she did have a professional photographer, which I love. As of recording, I have one photo of the bolero, because she wore it during the church ceremony and then took it off basically right after, because she had like gloves with cute pearls on it that she wore for the rest of the evening. Now that I've had some time to kind of like marinate over how I feel about it, I think okay is kind of the consensus. I like how she looks in it in the pictures I've seen so far. Now, so far, the only photos are from the front / like side, so I can't see the back. I do remember distinctly thinking during the ceremony that there's a bit of a gap where her skin was showing. I guess I'm gonna have to wait and see what those photos look like. I am so nervous because I don't want that to have like ruined any pictures of like her amazing, gorgeous train. So we'll see. She feels good about it, which is, kind of like what matters most. She also hasn't seen pictures of it from the back though, so we're gonna have to wait and see on that. If I could go back and redo this, I would do it so completely differently. I think that going into it, I was mostly concerned about the shoulders being covered and it not being too tight around her shoulders because she was covering up her tattoo. So I wanted to make sure that like it wasn't gonna be too tight and wanted it to be like flowy enough. And I didn't consider the back like kind of at all throughout the process. And knowing what I know now, I think it would have been better to not freehand it, like go off of a pattern. That would have been nice, because I think that a proper like back panel with shaping would have looked really beautiful, and then just have kind of sleeves that were more billowy. So hindsight 2020, I would have changed like a lot. I would have changed the entire pattern. But considering I had like 2 weeks, I'm not that mad about it. I think that it got the job done and it was nice. Is it my favorite thing I've ever made? No, like not even close. No offense, Sonia, if you're watching, I love you. Nothing but love. But like, it's not my favorite thing. You guys, that's it. This is it. We've made it to the end. Pictures of her wearing the shawl. I know that there's one picture that she got as a sneak peek where her and my brother-in-law are like stepping out and rose petals are being thrown on them. And I love that picture. If she lets me include it, I will include it. If not, enjoy the picture of my husband and I, because I love that you can see our faces in that picture. Like, it's so
It's so dumb, but like the first thing after I saw like, oh, they look so happy, this is such a cute photo, I was like, oh, that's us, look at us, we look cute. But yeah, outcome, I'm so happy. I'm about as happy as I could be, really, with the time that I was given. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys. Thank you for joining me on this absolutely psychotic journey. And happy knitting, happy crafting, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.